Hi, I'm Brian from Birmingham Cameras. Now you can see here in front of me I have a vast array of lenses. Now the observant among you will notice that I'm wearing a Nikon toy and that these are all Nikon lenses. We're in a very unique situation here at the moment, one that we've never been in before, in that we have a very wide range of Nikon lenses all actually in our store at the same time. So this is not the first time for us to see any of these lenses for the first time, but it is the first time that we've had them all in the shop at the same time. So the idea behind this video is to show you the different sizes and shapes of lenses as we go up in the range. Now we have here on this side an 8 to 15mm lens, and we have on the far side here an 800mm lens. So we have from 8 to 800. Now you can see they're all different shapes and sizes. And the beauty about these lenses is the biggest ones aren't necessarily the longest focal lengths. So a question we are asked regularly is that if a lens has a longer focal length, is it big and heavy? The answer to that is generally yes, but there are exceptions. So for example, this is the new 500mm PF lens from Nikon. That there, being 500mm in focal length, has a longer focal length than this lens, and basically all of the lenses over this side of it. And yet you can see it's physically smaller than most of them. So that is an example of how lenses are changing in shapes and sizes nowadays. The lenses here, I'd say probably to about here, are lenses that people will be familiar with generally. So they're what we would call more common lenses, and we generally see more of them around. We've got an 8 to 15mm lens. This is actually a fisheye lens. We've 14 to 24mm, 24 to 70. We have a 70 to 100. And then this is a 300mm for the PF lens from Nikon. Now we get to the bigger lenses. This is also a 300mm lens, but it's f2.8. So you can see when it goes to f2.8, the physical size of it, it gets substantially bigger in length and in diameter, and also substantially heavier than the 300mm that's beside it for one f-stop. We then go to the 80 to 400, and then we have a 200 to 400 and a 180 to 400 with a converter in it. Now, so all of these lenses have a zoom that ends in 400mm. The difference being that these two lenses here have a fixed aperture of f4 all the way through the zoom, hence the requirement for them to be physically much bigger and larger. This is a 200 to 400mm lens. This is a 180 to 400mm lens. The 180 to 400mm also has a built-in teleconverter, a 1.4 converter. You can turn this converter on or off, and in doing that, if it is turned on, it will bring it up to 600mm in focal length. As mentioned earlier in the video, this is a 500mm. This is 500mm f5.6, and as you can see, although it has the longest focal length of almost all of the lenses in the video, it is substantially smaller than some of them that have a longer focal length. The reason for this is it's one of the PF lenses from Nikon, which stands for Phase Fresnel, and that new technology allows the lenses to be physically smaller and lighter than what was ever achievable before in lenses of those focal lengths. Now we're on to the big daddy here in the frame, the 800mm. Now again, this is a very long focal length, and it will be generally for sports or wildlife. It is a 5.6 aperture, and it is, as you can see, a beast of a lens. Again, it's physically big and size. Because of that, it comes in a hard case like this. All of the lenses that are there will all be supplied with a lens hood. In the case of the longer focal length lenses, these hoods are very hard wearing to stop the lens getting an impact if required. And in the case of the shorter focal lengths, the 8 to 15 has a detachable hood so that it can actually come off for the fisheye effect, and the hood is built into the 14 to 24mm lens. As said at the start of the video, we do actually have all of these in stock at the moment. The most important question is, are they all for sale? Yes, they are. We do have them all for sale at the moment. So if any of these lenses interest you, please don't hesitate to check out our website, or you can give us a call at any stage if you want to. Our website is birminghamcameras.ie, and the details for calling us are on the website. Hope you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching.